by Kronos. I'm bringing a game here. This is what I believe they call 12 Bolt. It's one Lobster Con already, so it is definitely a good deck. My little guy's excited, but I wanted to show you this because I thought this was a genius. Whoever came up with this, it's awesome. But this is rock, paper, scissors. So you lay out 3 cards, you number them, and your opponent chooses because that way it's fair. So I choose a card for me, and I choose a card for him. And that determines on who goes first. I choose number 3, and I gave him number 1. So there's a rock, and there's scissors, and I lost. But is that not the coolest thing? Alright, so we're going to start off. Obviously he won, like you just saw. And it's a perfect start. So this is basically, some people call it a 12 bolt, but basically it's a lion dib bolt, but with 4 black vices made. So it hurts a lot. And it's hard. Now if you watch the finals to the last White Dragon, there's a very similar deck, I believe, the gentleman was playing. I had this deck apart because I was playing in a 4 horseman and I didn't have time to proxy the cards I was missing. But here's basically a bird. Kind of looking to see if he's going to bolt the bird. Nope, played a lion. At this point I know, but he only has so many cards left in his hand, so this is where I'm trying to think, do I want to take care of cards in his hand? I think that's the best option, is to lose the life and take him down a notch, because if I can take the cards out of his hand and lose his cards advantage, I can balance myself. I shouldn't say cast balance, but basically I can keep myself alive and then take his cards down one by one. So I'm telling him he can keep those. I'm going to take the other 2. And we have a dib and a time walk. That was a great twist. I still have a bad habit of turning things on an angle because I'm restricted on my play space, so I'm just correcting myself there. So I know I'm going to take the damage. Now I'm going to make it really tempting for him to... I'm going to untap. Now, like I said, my screen is to the left, and I play to the right, so sometimes I forget Vice. So you just had to remind me there, so I took my Vice damage. There's a lion. Let's see what else we got. And there's my library. I love that library. And there's a quick bolt on the lion. Saves my bird though. There's a bolt on the land. Let's see if I did this right. Should go 3, yep. And there's a strip. So I dropped down to 2, so that took the damage. And let's see what we got. This is where I'm going to be able to start taking the game back quick. He has no hand. He has to draw something to get a hand. Let's see what I end up doing here. I do have to take care of that Vice because I still have cards in hand. So unless I can dump a lot of them, I'm going to have to do something about it. I'm going to play a Gargoyle. And I am now completely out and not worried about Vice at all. I'm going to plow the lion. Let's see what I draw here. There's a swing for 2. And an Urnham. This is what I meant about running out of room a little bit. And it is early in the morning, so I had to have the extra lights on, so sorry about the little bit of glare there. There's a big swing and a pass. He's going to have to attempt something here, and then disenchant it. Whether he used it for blocking or whatever, it's not going to help him. So no matter what he decided to do, I was going to get rid of it. Let's see what I pick off the top here. Gotta love library. So one thing I notice about this deck is they don't main deck disenchants and stuff. Not like I have a lot of targets anyway, but I'm fixing my color here. I'm gonna play a Pixie. Now he's down to the range where he has to find something. Alright, well there's a dib. He does lose a life. He's got his dib out. Let's see what I Sullivan Library here. Yeah, I'm not sure what year this deck won, but definitely a very, very competitive, great, wonderful deck. It is extremely dangerous. Not mine, of course. Mine is very bizarre. Quite literally. And there's the chain for the win. Alright, let's go into game 2. Alright, game 2. Let's see what we got. Looks like I'm good with my hand. He's going to start off with a Tundra. No lions, no vices. And there's a Bayou with a bird. Yes, I run 4 Bayous pretty much so this way. If I do draw a opening hand, well, there's a bolt and a drop of a dip with a Lotus. That is a hell of a play. But the reason I usually run 4 Bayous is for Demonic Tutor and Lotus. There's the Plow. My buddy painted those up. I am not a painter. Painting and I do not get along. I spent 8 hours with a Pixie, and it looks pretty cool, but definitely not doing posture paint very well. There's a library and a pass. Now that's the problem when you drop a lot of quick cards like that. Your hand gets reduced, and you may be in the tank. So it's going to give me a turn, and that's really all I need is that one turn. Here's a Pixie.
Would you like to buy a drain pipe?
And a pass with 3. There's a quick lion and a pass. But there's an instead bolt. And a bolt on mine. Well, there goes all the creatures. Let's see what I choose to keep here. We're able to get my Autistic Son a small climbing set. They're like the octagons, and they have all the triangles, and you can climb up them. But it's like an indoor one. So he is playing with that at the moment, loving it. But after this, I'm going to see if I can get him outside and play a little bit. So not much going on at the moment. Let's see what I drew. there's a Wheel of Fortune. So I took the city on purpose, so this way I can siphon out the city. I'm dumping my disenchant. And I took a quick look there, and if I remember right, it was mostly lands. I definitely did not get the best one. Alright, there's a quick strip. I'm going to try and keep him off of 3 mana sources. I don't want a dib to come out quite yet, because I want to try and get ahead. There's a bird. Doesn't seem like it's that big of a threat, but trust me, she gets very nasty if you let her out. Try and use Sonic Blast on a Gargoyle when I got red sources and birds out. But that's a smack in the face massively. I have a handful of lands, so I'm not overly concerned, but I could have been really taken over this game. I'm going to leave myself with a bird. No bird, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I'm going to leave myself just with the Bayou is what I was trying to say, which is hard for me apparently. And there's a Time Walk. Yeah. So if you think about it, that was a balanced Time Walk, 2 Moxen. There's the other land, there's a factory. And a lion. How about that hand, huh? That was a good draw 7. Pretty sure I didn't have much of anything except for lands. Looks like I forgot all about library that turn. There's a plateau. Can I do anything? Or am I just sitting back with a burn spell?
Do you think we can go home soon, Doctor?
Yep, because I'm expecting him to attack, so I'm going to burn the land out. Because I can plow the lion, but I can't always get rid of the factories. That means I don't have a disenchant in hand. There's another lion. Let's see which card I pick. Do. I'm going to chain the other lion. Yeah, that's why I bolted the factory. I had to chain. Play a lion of my own. Try to take out his other lion. The more burn I get out of his hand, the better I am. There's another chain. So he's using pretty much all of his burn in his deck to try and get me down. So I have to take the lion. I can't do anything about that. See, you see I had 2 lands and I'm kind of digging. There's another land. I'm going to play a big scary Urnum. Now one thing that was in those lands is there was another Urnum in there. So I'm not worried about the Urnum. I'm expecting another direct damage spell out of his hand. So I'm not going to take it. I'm going to block. And he's going to waste another, so I get a 2 for 1. But if you notice, now he doesn't have a hand. And that was him just taking a quick peek, but most of his entire deck of threats are already gone. So he really doesn't have anything left. That dropped on the edge and bounced. So the Urnum survives. He's going to scoot, knowing most of his deck is in a graveyard. I am going to show him in a second here what I had. I was going to end up playing a land and double gargoyling, or bolt and gargoyle. Probably drop 1 gargoyle, bolt at end step. But I was pretty much he was taking 7 damage next turn, and then I would end up having 2 gargoyles and another. So he might have been able to get through it a little bit, but with almost all of his damage and the orb left, he had no way left of taking care of the Urnum. So let's go on to the next game. Alright, so this is a bonus game. Let's see what we got here. That's a good thing about not having factories in this deck. I know there's a negative to it, but the positive is I almost never mulligan. I have 4 birds and 1 elf, and I never have to mulligan. That's a good start for him. That's kind of where he wants. I already took my vice damage. I'm going to throw out a lion. I know there's going to be some kind of direct damage spell flying out on the lion. But I did not expect that strip. There's a draw. So he did not kill the lion, but he did draw 3 more cards. That strip actually devastated me because I had lands in my hand, but that was actually my only red source. I did not expect a quick strip on the land. Some people would hold it off for something better like a library or something of that nature. But he took out my red source, which was smart. So he actually put me on crutches because I have a chain or a bolt, I think a gargoyle or 2. I have a lot of red in my hand. There's a lion. Now keep in mind this is a bonus game. I wanted to play one more round against it because I knew this deck is very, very competitive. Again, it won Lobster Con at one point, so definitely competitive. I'm not finding that much going on, but I am going to disenchant that vice. Try and maybe keep myself alive. I probably should have kept my lion back, but I figured there was a bolt. Yep, but he's going to do it on my life total. I figured he was going to bolt the lion and attack me anyway. I probably should have kept that on defense. Make him waste his bolt. And there's a time walk. There's a lot of power flying every turn, every game with this deck over here. I have no power. Closest thing I got is a Chaos Orb in here. I don't even play a library. Of Alexandria, that is. I play Sullivan's library, but no. And there's another lion. I don't think I'm going to win this. And a chain. I'm down to 3. I need a red source. If I get a red source, I might be able to survive a hot minute, but I doubt it. There's too much damage in that deck. I'm going to throw a pixie down. Hopefully I don't take any direct damage, because if he had one, he would have used it and killed me. So this means he's relying on the creatures. I'm not going to take any damage, so I'm going to block everything. I'm going to wipe the board clean. And there's a time twister. There goes my chain, disenchant, and gargoyle. So I wasn't sweating a black vice, I wasn't sweating factories, I wasn't sweating a creature that much. I just needed a red source. That's all I wanted, was a red source. We're just kind of randomly shuffling around here. I always look at my monitor when I shuffle, just, you can't see my face. I don't have a lot of cameras, I only have one. So, but I try and look at the hammer. You see a plow, creatures, my red sources. I'm actually good to go if I can survive a hot minute, but not against all this crazy power. And the one card I can't do anything about because I did not draw my disenchant was a vice. And now he's showing me he doesn't have red, but he had all those sources left. I can do nothing about it, so I scoop up. some great games. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to go play with my little guy now, and you guys have a wonderful day.